Hi, fans of high quality entertainment. We're doing something a little different with this top 10 albums. Isn't that a great idea I had, Glenn? Top 10 albums of a certain year?
It's amazing. You're a genius, Larry.
Glenn's the one. Well, I'm sure it's been done before.
Well, no, I was the first one who ever did it.
Yeah, you're the originator.
Yeah. I have
yeah,
a patent on it, Larry. Actually, I'm surprised you haven't received the legal notice, the cease and desist letter yet. But
yeah, I will let people know this is not a live chat. This is pre-recorded.
Although you and I are both alive.
That's right. We are at the moment. Yeah. So the year is 1970, and there were a lot of great albums in that year. And in fact, they might be on Glenn's list, but some of the ones that didn't make my list include Black Sabbath, their debut album, Miles Davis, Bitches Brew, Neil Young's After the Gold Rush, The Stooges' Funhouse. Now, I'm going to get some flack for this one. George Harrison, All Things Must Pass, is not in my top 10.
I'm throwing flack at you right now, Larry.
Yeah, I know. Bridge Over Troubled Water, Van Morrison Moondance, Deep Purple in Rock, Santana Abraxas.
I'm out of here.
Deja Vu, Ladies of the Canon, Layla and Other Assorted Love Songs, Sunflower, Morrison Hotel, and I'm even wearing a Doors shirt. That's not right. Parachute by The Pretty Things.
Pretty Things, oh.
Yeah. 12 Dreams of Dr. Sardonicus by Spirit.
Oh, Larry, I didn't even know that was 1970.
Yeah.
Now I got to change my list.
Yeah. Traffic, John Barleycorn Must Die. A band called The Grateful Dead, American Beauty. Frank Zappa, Burnt Weenie Sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
Free, Fire and Water. The Madcap Laughs, Elton John, Tumbleweed Connection, Workingman's Dead, Grateful Dead, King Crimson Lizard, Nilsson Sings Newman, Pink Floyd, Adam Hart Mother, Canned Heat, Future Blues, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Chicago 2, Genesis Trespass, and the band Stage Fright. That's just some of them.
That's insane.
Yeah. It was a very good year. So as always, at least for me, I'm not saying these top 10 are the best. They are just my personal favorites, and probably the same with Glenn.
Yes.
Yes, no. Yes is not on the list.
I'm redoing my list now.
Yeah.
You mentioned an album that's one of my top 5 albums of all time, and I didn't miss it. Now I had to readjust my list.
Well,
I can't leave it
off. I had to boot an album out.
I had to boot an album out.
Oh well.
Oh man, do you want me to name some of the ones that I thought?
Sure.
Like I did that really got serious consideration. Eric Burdon Declares War. That's an album that I've been listening to a lot lately.
You might want to fix your microphone again. It's a little crackly.
Hello? Am I okay?
Yep, that's good.
Eric Burdon Declares War. Grand Funk's Closer to Home. Neil Young's After the Gold Rush. McCartney. Grateful Dead's Working Man Dead. An album by Poco called Poco, self-titled, which is a great album. Bitches Brew. And I would have to say this album's breaking my heart to leave it off because it was on there, but Caravan,
wow.
I could do it all over again. I do it all over you. I have to leave it off. Yeah. I love it. Okay.
And the audio is still crackling when you were talking there.
The only thing I can do is leave and come back.
Yeah, that's okay. I might even just fix it after.
Let me get out and come back.
Hi, fans of high quality entertainment. While Glenn's gone, so like something like George Harrison's All Things Must Pass, it is a great album. But for me, it doesn't mean as much to me because when I was that age, I never bought it myself. My older brothers bought it. So I never connected with it like some other albums that are on my top 10 list. Here's Glenn. He's coming back. Here we go.
You know what's weird, Larry? You're the only guy I have trouble with.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't happen on Rich's thing. Use the same system.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know why.
Well, you'll see it. You'll play this back. I'll just...
Because I can't hear it when it's doing it, so you have to let me know.
So, yeah. So let's start with number 10, Glenn.
Number 10. Well, I had to put a Grateful Dead album on here, and American Beauty is the one I chose because I just freaking love this album. One thing I want to mention, when I was doing these 10, there's probably like 5 of them, if you took me back to 1970, would be on my top list, and about 5 that I wouldn't have been paying any attention to back in 1970 and just discovered later. But I wasn't a huge Dead fan in 1970, but this their best album, and
And
had
that
to
could
make the
change your
list.
favorite song.
Ripple was on there.
Yeah, Ripples,
Yeah.
yeah.
So number 10, Grateful Dead.
Well, number 10 for me is very heavy because it's from a box set. It's McCartney.
Whoa.
Because I think, when it came out, it was kind of like disappointing and everything, but it's really grown in stature over the years. And he was pretty brave to put out something so raw, right? And a home recording, which wasn't really done that much back then. And when this came out, I just had a new love for even some of the songs I didn't care for as much, like Ooh You and all that. So it's my number 10. I love it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Man, I had a hard time leaving that one off. But
yeah.
Here's one that never would have been on my radar in 1970, but I just think it's absolutely brilliant. I play it all the time. Pato.
Yep. I've got the box set of all 3 or 4 of their albums.
Oh, this is my favorite of all of them. And the playing on this is so good. And the vocals, I even like the jazzy guitars, the long extended solos and stuff. It's, man, just one of my favorite rock albums. I guess it's rock.
Lots of great guitar work on that too.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my number 9. And like I said, an album that never would have been on my radar.
Number 9 is, I think this was the first heavy rock, I don't know, metal. I don't know how to describe, I guess heavy rock, heavy metal album that I fell in love with, and it is Black Sabbath, Paranoid.
My favorite Sabbath album.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I loved that album back in the day too. That was great. Generals gathered
in their masses, just like witches at Black. I like how he rhymes masses with masses.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Ozzy's a pretty smart guy. I don't know if you ever watched him on TV, but he's very intelligent.
Yeah, he is.
Okay. My new obsession from 2022, David Bowie, Hunky Dory, Larry.
Oh, I didn't even mention that. Yeah.
Oh, man. It has changes on it. And Quicksand, which has become one of my favorite songs.
And Queen
David Bowie. And I think the song that's become my favorite David Bowie song is Life on Mars.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a great album.
Yeah.
Do you have that box set that came out recently?
Yeah.
I want to buy that. What's it called? Divine Symmetry.
Yeah.
You bought that big box set?
I didn't buy it, no.
Oh, that's what I was asking if you had it.
It's on Spotify.
Yeah, I want to get that set. It's like $130 or something. But yeah, great album.
Glenn, I'm not a multimillionaire like you are.
Yeah, that's why I haven't got it yet, Larry. I'm just dreaming.
Oh, and we should mention, we just did a video with Rich Strickler and other friends. And we're doing the CD exchange. So I'll have a link for that video. So please go watch it. It should be in the pinned comment below. Okay, next, number 8. I wonder if this is, yeah, I've done 2. So this is number 8 for me. I wonder if this is in your top 10. Maybe you forgot. It is the true debut album by John Lennon, Plastic Ono Band. I just love the rawness of it. And yeah, nothing more to say. I just love how open he is and
it might show up later.
Getting it all out of the system.
It might show up later.
Okay.
So we're at number 7. My list is so scribbled now, I'm having trouble following it. Okay, another one of my favorite albums from back in the day. Still one of my favorite albums, James Gang Rides Again. Great side 1. It's all pretty rockin' stuff with the Bomber and Funk 49, and then side 2's very acoustic and dreamy, and ends up with the Ashes, The Rain and I, which is a beautiful song. I think this is one of Joe Walsh's great pieces of work here. James,
I know that they did a reunion recently. Do you know if they're going to record?
I don't know. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
That would be awesome if they did. That's my number 7, I think, right?
Yep, I think so. Number 7 for me is probably my after the Beatles. This was my next band that I really loved for many years and still do today. Grand Funk, Closer to Home, with of course the classic "I'm Your Captain" on it. But I love the whole album. Sin's a Good Man's Brother.
No, that's probably my favorite Grand Funk song.
Yeah,
Sin's a Good Man's Brother.
Yeah.
That's a great album. That really got serious consideration from me. Always loved it. My number 6, LZ3, Larry.
I've heard of them.
Yeah. This is one I just couldn't leave off. It wasn't on my original.
Neither could I, Glenn.
Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, Gallows Pole and Since I've Been Loving You and Immigrant.
Yeah. but some fans don't, because it's more acoustic. I love it. I love the acoustic.
It was
songs in it.
A bit of a stark contrast to their first 2 albums, right?
Yeah.
When it came out. Yeah, a bit of a shock to the system that it got more acoustic and folky, but great album.
Okay, so that's my number 6. So you're next again.
Number 5. Where'd it go? Right here, Larry. Chicago 2. The first 2 Chicago albums are frigging genius pieces of work, I think, from start to finish, every note. The first one was phenomenal, and this one's so close behind it. Like they just
that's a double too, isn't it?
That's a double album too.
Yeah.
They just made 2 just genius albums in a row there. I had to include it.
Well, here's an album at number 5 for me. During one of our CD exchanges, Glenn didn't care for it too much, but I absolutely love it. It is the Velvet Underground, Loaded. Just like Glenn is now, he's loaded. Yeah, it starts off with, like Sweet Jane and rock and roll, but I love all of the songs on it. Yeah. Number 5.
You'd have to disregard anybody's list. They'd have to be an idiot if they didn't put this on their list, Larry. Like you could just totally disregard anything they ever have to say ever. Van Morrison's Moondance.
It's not on my list, Glenn.
I know. Yeah, I know. That's why I thought I could say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just, probably Van's most successful album, I would say. Right?
Yeah, I think so.
Commercially. Yeah. Yeah, just every song is great on this album. Caravan and Moondance and Crazy Love, and just fantastic record. This kind of transcends generations too. Like my daughters like this album. Everybody kind of likes this album.
Yeah.
It's an album you can put on and certainly doesn't offend anyone. So Van, number 4.
So my number 4, I wonder if you forgot about this one, because I think it would be in your top 10 but don't let me know. It is the Kinks. Power Man. Lola versus Power Man and the Money Go Round Part 1. We're still waiting for Part 2.
It would have got an honorable mention. I don't know if that would have made my top 10.
No? Okay.
No.
But
it's
great. But I do love Arthur more, but this is my second favorite Kinks song.
Really? I think that's my favorite. Yeah. That first one. That Lola one's more better, Larry.
More better.
Yeah. So my number 3 is, I don't have it with me because you mentioned it, and it just like the 12 Dreams of Dr. Sardonygus.
Yeah.
Spirit.
Yeah, I love that.
It's always been one of my favorite albums. From the minute it came out, I was in love with it. Yeah. It gets better with every listen. If you've been listening to it for 50 years, it still keeps getting better.
Yeah.
And just a genius, incredible record that everyone should own.
I own it. Number 3. This better be on your list, Glenn. Creedence Clearwater Revival with Cosmo's Factory,
Wow.
Glenn?
No, there's too many albums, Larry. You should have done a top 50.
Yeah.
Man.
Ramble Tamble, my favorite CCR song, and just every song is so great.
It is.
Yeah.
That's a studio album that could, like, you could mistake if they put CCR's greatest hits on it.
Yeah.
You would believe it.
Yeah.
Every song. Yeah. Man. That was totally off my radar, and I would have had a hard time leaving that off. My number 2, Plastic Ono Band, John Lennon. His best album, arguably the best solo Beatle album. And like you said, just so raw and powerful and emotional. And
do you remember the first time you heard it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And were you kind of shocked
right
with like swearing and everything?
Yeah. It was like Working Class Hero. I remember having to run down and turn it down. I'd have it on the stereo and I'd know he was going to say the F word, and my parents were close. So I had to go turn it down. So they
That's funny. Well, I had to include a Beatles album on the list. So number 2 is Let It Be. And I, since watching the documentary, right, this used to be one of my least favorite because most of us Beatles fans thought, they weren't getting along and all that. But obviously they did get along for the most part. And so, this just changed my opinion of this whole album. So it's number 2.
Wow. How can you argue with a Beatles album? I'm surprised it isn't on my list. We're at number 1 now?
Yeah.
Drum roll. It didn't even make your list, Larry. All Things Must Pass. I mean, this album came out of nowhere in 1970. That's what I remember about it, is going, oh, George Harrison's got a solo album out, and you grab it. It's 3 records. Yeah. He's got like 900 great songs that no one knew about. Yeah. Like, this is incredible.
Like I was saying when you were restarting, I was saying to the viewers, I think why that's not connected to me as much as when it came out, my older brothers bought it, right? I never bought it myself. And so, I'm not as attached to it. Yeah. Not that I don't love the songs on it, but it doesn't mean as much to me as my number 1.
Yeah, I just remember how mind-blowing it was, and it's still a great record. Every song holds up.
Number 1 is my all-time favorite.
I can't think of what you're gonna. I can't guess.
My number 1 is my all-time favorite live album.
I know. Grand Funk Live.
Yeah.
And I saw them in 1969.
Yeah. Oh, you did. That's right too. Yeah.
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 When the Red album came out.
Yeah. And they were opening for.
They were opening for. Was supposed to be Sly and the Family Stone, who pulled the no-show, and it was.
I don't believe it. Sly Stone never showed up.
Yeah. But we had like second row right at the front of the stage, and they were just so powerful.
And you'd never heard of them before?
Never heard a note.
Wow.
Yeah, they were just so amazing.
Yeah.
High energy and the playing and
So you're glad Sly Stone never showed up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's some concerts you just have vivid memories of the people on the stage, and that's one of them with Grand Funk.
Yeah. Well, that is it.
Wow. That's
so remember to subscribe to Glen Kellaway from the Basement, and
please do.
Let us know what your favorite top 10 albums are from 1970. And remember to check out the video we just did with Rich Strickler. It should be in the pinned comment where we do our weekly CD exchanges.
Yeah, Larry, I didn't like that ABBA album that much that you gave me.
Next time. Sorry.
Okay. All right.
Bye, everybody.
Take care.